Jesse Lee Show. Oh, oh. Jesse Lee Show. Oh, oh. The Jesse Lee Show. Oh, oh. The Jesse Lee Show. Jesse Lee Show.
All right, well, dude, Joe, thank you for joining me. Or do you prefer Mr. Nowhere? I want to make sure I'm addressing you correctly.
Joe is just fine.
Joe's
honestly.
good. Awesome, man. I appreciate you taking the time to chat with me, especially you're just coming off a Warped Tour this past weekend, right? How'd that go?
Dude, it was unreal. Maybe like top 3 set I've ever played.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. Something about Orlando. And I think daylight savings like played in our favor because we had to play like as soon as the sun went down. And
cool.
I feel like the LD was just going extra crazy for us.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it's weird to be at Warped Tour in November, like in the fall. Like that's gotta be a weird vibe.
It's weird, yeah, because you associate it with like July, like summer, school's out. But it was cool. Like I'm happy because it was in Orlando, and like in July or June, that would have been a nightmare.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I mean, it's great to be able to escape the cold weather because you're in Vermont, right?
Yeah.
So you know it's cold there, right? Like, I'm in Ohio. I feel you. It's cold a lot of the time. So I feel like we need more fall time, winter time festivals. You know, we need more shit to do when it's cold and dark out 60% of the day.
Yeah, it's weird because like bands usually just tour. You know, you got your spring tours and you got your fall tours, and then sometimes you'll just have like your summer fests. But I feel like we need, at least for like us, you know, living up north, like it would be nice to have more going on in the winter because the seasonal depression is hitting, you know what I mean?
Dude, yeah, man, 6 p.m. at daylight savings time in November feels so much later than 6 p.m. in July.
It's mental, dude. I'm already over it, but we're going to Europe in 5 days, so it's like a little bit of a distraction. And then I guess it is what it is the rest of the winter.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I went to France for the very first time this past summer. That was my first time even in Europe at all. And dude, that was so overwhelming. I went to Hellfest over there. That was a lot.
Yeah, it's fire. People really appreciate, I don't want to say like Americans are spoiled or anything, but there is something about European crowds where they just are so stoked to see a band live.
Dude. Yeah, like I don't know if it's just that they're not getting as much as the American crowds are. There's not as many tours or something, but yeah, dude, they are so passionate. Like even that Hellfest thing, they like take over the entire city. It's devoted to that like year round, even when the festival's not happening.
Yeah, it's mental. Shout out Europe.
Yeah, shout out Europe. Dude, do you have any favorite parts from Warped Tour this past weekend? Anything that sticks out in your mind?
Honestly, like I chill out. Like when I play a show, I like kind of just go nonverbal and like just like chill in the green room before and just get my mind right. But it's just cool to see everybody and see people that you kind of know, you know what I mean? Like know like online. It's like it is like a summer camp where you kind of run into like acquaintances and stuff. It's very funny to me when I'm chilling at my merch tent. And especially now for these Warped Tours, people will come up and I'll know who's like a fan of Nothing Nowhere. They've been like a fan for a while. And then I kept getting people come up and they'll just be like, Will It Emo guy? And I'm like, Will It Emo guy? But like, dude, I welcome it all, but it's so funny. Actually, the funniest thing about Warped Tour was I was backstage and I'm just walking. I've never met him ever, by the way, but Pierre from Simple Plan just comes up.
Oh, yeah.
Will It Emo? And I'm like, whoa.
Dude, you're living a double life now, man. You're a professional artist and also content creator full time.
Professional brain rotter as well.
Yeah, dude. You gotta contribute. If you know the brain rot's gonna be out there regardless, so you should at least be contributing to it. You should be at least monetizing it, right?
Exactly. That's kind of what we're at right now.
Yeah. Well, dude, not brain rot. Congrats on the new single, man. Cardinal and the Crossfire. Like, bro, when this song starts and that guitar hits my eardrums, I was like, whoa, wait a minute, wait, what? Obviously, we're going for this 2000s post-hardcore emo theme, and there's a lot of bands and artists that I've heard try to do this sound, but like a lot of them don't nail the guitar tone like you did on this one, man. It feels like I'm listening to like the used or from first to last guitar tone on that track. It's just overall, man, just outstanding job with that song.
Dude, thank you so much. Yeah, it's I gotta shout out my dudes, Zach Jones and KJ Strock, who I worked on with that. you know, we go super old school. We're going like, you know, no plugins. We're going right into the amp. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like we really wanted to capture that sound. Because you're right, it's the intangibles, and I feel like if for people like us who grew up listening to the Used and Finch and bands like that, like there's something about going back and listening to those records that's so perfectly unperfect. And I
Yeah.
think that if there was anything with like the modern landscape of especially modern metalcore, I think I don't think I'm only speaking for myself, but I feel like things have become very sterile. And I think what I was trying to do with Cardinal and moving forward with Nothing Nowhere is just putting forward more of that like less polished, like, yo, first take is what you get kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's been super liberating. It's been super fun to just like change the process up and not nitpick at every little chord or every little snare sound, you know?
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, that's absolutely true. I feel like there's a lot of artists because they do have the advantage of technology where they can, you know, snap things into place where they want to on the grid or whatever. I feel like a lot of bands do that because I don't blame them for it initially because like they're thinking like, whoa, this is gonna make it sound better. Obviously, it should be in time. You know, I don't want to miss out. But yeah, you're losing a lot of that human element. Like even like just the other day, I was listening to some Black Sabbath song. I can't remember what it was. And you can hear the fuck ups. Tony Iommi with his little nubby fingers messing shit up. Like, but it didn't matter, man. It sounded awesome. Like,
Yeah, there's something super rad about that. And I don't know if like I'm just a prisoner of nostalgia, which I know that I am. I don't I'm so bad. Like I just listen to the same stuff I listened to in 2005 still. But like honestly, yeah, there's just something about that that just makes me feel like I'm in the back row of a school bus. And I don't know, as you get older, you just want to capture that fleeting little hit of dopamine that you experienced when you had your anti-shock, like Discman, listening to Let It Unfold You by Census Fail or something.
right. Rocking in your cargo pants, keeping it right in the side pocket.
There, the drips.
Dude, yeah, oh, yeah, the trips, man. Yeah, no, you definitely harnessed that vibe 100% on this song, and not again, not in like a way that feels like forced or anything like that. It feels way more natural than I think a lot of bands have accomplished. So I love it. I love the direction. Is this like, are we gonna hear more of this kind of sound going forward, or is this like a one-off single? Like, what's the thought process right now?
Yeah, well, to be completely honest, like this past year I had like just this realization where I was on a record label for a really long time, and like the split was amicable and everything's all good. But when you're on a record label, you know, there's a big team, everyone has a goal, and they want to make you as big as they can make you, which is dope. But I think that with that also came some sort of like restrictions that I put on myself. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a guy in a suit saying, hey, you can't do this, you can't do that. I kind of was like, hey, like, we want to get on the radio. Let's not do that thrash chord, or let's not put screams here. And it took me a while to sort of unlearn that because I started Nothing Nowhere 10 years ago, and it really took off really quick. And now that I'm not on a label, I'm independent. Like all I ever really wanted to do is just make, you know, the music that speaks to me the most. And like I have so many songs that I finished this past year that I'm excited to release that are really similar to Cardinal. They're sort of an homage to what I grew up listening to and what I still listen to every day. So people can definitely expect more of that post-hardcore
Oh
and
yeah,
emo sort
yeah,
of style from Nothing Nowhere. I think I'm just full speed ahead, and that's like what I'm absolutely hyper fixated on right now.
hell yeah, man. So did you feel like there for a while that you sort of had to play the game, so to speak, in the industry?
Yeah, it's tough. When I sort of started getting big as Nothing Nowhere, you know, it happened really quick, and I was meeting with every single major label. I was getting flown out to LA every other week, meeting with labels, and then I finally signed. And you know, at the time, you know, 2015, emo rap was, you know, a really viable and like new thing.
Mm-hmm.
And people really didn't know how far it could go. So it was really like all hands on deck, like, hey, like, let's make this happen. Um, so as a result, like, I think I put a lot of pressure on myself, you know, and it took me growing up to be like, yo, dude, like, just make the songs that you want to make, sing what you want to sing about, sing it the way that you want to sing about, you know, and just like do your thing, and you know, people will listen. And it just took me a while to get back to that place, because that's what blew up Nothing Nowhere in the first place. Was I just was like, hey, I just want to make stuff that I want to make.
Yeah.
Somewhere along the way, you just get so caught up in like, how it's going to be perceived by the masses, because there's so much pressure on you. And then I think it took me years to learn to just get back to that flow state and just treat it the way like I would when I was in local bands growing up in the basement.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense because like you said, you started this thing and it pops off and it's kind of like everything you sort of hoped and dreamed for a long time. It's like, well, shit, I don't want to lose it. Like let's do whatever we can and make sure we don't drop it. We don't want to drop the ball. So yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that pressure taking a hold.
Yeah, for sure. And like I sympathize with like a ton of kids like coming up now. Because I know what it's like, and it's too much pressure, really too much pressure for anyone to handle, you know what I mean? And like
Yeah.
I definitely like hit a brick wall in 2018. I had to stop all operations and like come back at it. And it took me a while to really like dig myself out of that hole and just be like, all right, I'm a person who makes music, and it's really no deeper than that. You know what I mean? Too much pressure. So we're chilling now, and I'm really just, I feel like it's the beginning of my career again. And yeah, I'm just having so much fun.
Well, dude, I can tell you're having fun because even aside from the awesome tunes, I'm loving the Will It Emo series that you've been doing. I mean, obviously, that's just caught crazy fire. And of course, like covering songs is nothing new, but your spin on it of like, well, will it work? Is it gonna be okay? Like, I just like that little intangible little extra part to it. Like, how did those start coming together for you?
Yeah. Yeah, I just feel like last year I kind of realized that I was taking myself a little too seriously, and that's been something that I've been trying to overcome for a while. And I just was like, music should be fun, man. You know what I
Mm,
mean? It's not like, it shouldn't be like life or death. And
right. Yeah,
I
we can get shitty jobs if we want to be super serious and not have fun, right?
Yeah, totally. Like, yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I just like I started posting like weird meme emo clips on Instagram, and they started just really catching fire. And I don't know, I think the first thing I ever did was I did a cover of Katy Perry's Thinking of You in sort of like a Midwest emo style, and that really took off. And then for whatever reason, I was like, all right, we all grew up on Punk Goes Pop. And I thought, what if we took the most sort of major, happiest songs we can think of and see if they will emo? And the first one I did was Happy by Pharrell.
Yeah.
And
The
it was
exact
around,
opposite of an emo song.
yeah,
The
exactly.
antithesis of emo.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I started Will It Emo with Happy by Pharrell, and I woke up the next morning and it had like over 500,000 views, and I was like, okay, this is insane.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a blast, honestly. Like it's just fun. I stream the process on Twitch, and then like I make one per week when I'm not on tour. And yeah, I don't know, for whatever reason people love it. They look, you know what I mean? Just pure brain rot.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite one?
Right now, my favorite one is probably We're Never Ever Getting Back Together by Taylor Swift.
Cool.
That one was super fun to make. And there's been some times where like some songs just don't work out. You know what I mean? Like I know I've tried LMFAO a couple times and it just wasn't working.
Oh, really?
But yeah, like I'm looking forward to starting like season 2 of Will It Emo when I'm back
Yeah.
from the European tour. Because it's mental. I mean, I gained in 6 months, I gained like 200,000 followers just from doing this. And it's
Wow.
more than I gained in the past 6 years,
Yeah.
So it's cool. And it's even more fun playing them live, if I'm being honest. Like I just wait to that part of the set where I'm like, can we play Will It Emo?
Yeah, yeah. Do you switch them up every night or you have one that you always go to? I know you did All Star at Orlando, right?
Yeah, we found out pretty early that people lose their minds for All Star. So much so that it was like, do we end the whole set with
Right.
like encore with All Star? It's just crazy. As soon as like, you hit that somebody, people
Yeah.
go ape shit. Like I was
That's
like,
amazing.
where was this earlier in the set? You guys are stage diving, doing flips off stage. Like, Or shout out to Smash Mouth, man.
Dude, Smash with the Goats, man. The Goats.
Yeah,
R.I.P.
and they actually the band hit me up too, and they were super nice. You know, they heard the cover, and it was dope to get blessed by the Smash Mouth gods and the band. So yeah, it's been a weird journey.
Do you think you'll ever do like a whole set or tour of the Will It Emo?
You know, I've thought about it, and there's certainly been a lot of people asking about a Will It Emo tour. So I just think it's just like, gauging interest. I know the interest is there. Certainly, people's that anytime I post it, I'm like, all right, it goes viral. So it'd be interesting. It would be fun, and I think it would be just like we were going back to the beginning of our conversation, just less pressure. You know what I mean? Just like music should be fun, and Will It Emo is sort of like the crux of that.
It is funny too because, like you said, it's supposed to be fun. It's just supposed to be a lighthearted thing, not taken seriously, really. But then, like, so many people get their nipples in a twist and take the term emo so seriously. Like, well, that's not real emo. Real emo's of Washington D.C. So whatever the copy pasta.
Yeah, man. Yeah, well, yeah. Here's the thing, man. Like, I grew up on true emo. Like, I started listening to American football when I was like 11 years old.
Yeah.
And then I discovered Braid and Mineral and The Promise Ring and Rites of Spring, Page 99, I Hate Myself, first wave, second wave, into the mall emo stuff, Senses Fail, Silverstein, Under Oath, or just, more post-hardcore we're getting into. But I just think that, it's just the umbrella term that was decided. It's not like in 2025 people just started calling whatever emo. Like, this happened in 2004, 2005, like when Taking Back Sunday was releasing music and people were saying the same thing, like, oh, this isn't Cap and Jazz, this isn't real emo. Right. Emo is just like, it's a huge umbrella, and I think that people get really tied up in like, is this real emo, is this Midwest emo, is this DC emotional hardcore copy. Right. And it's been funny. Like, I didn't realize when I posted, like, I think it was the second Will It Emo I ever posted. I did like I did a Chapel Roan Will It Emo, and Twitter really like hated it. And I was like, really? This is awesome, dude. Like, I was like, because it's like, it's that thing where it's like, music should not be serious, man. Like, music can be serious, but like, what are we doing, man? Like, we're having fun. We're making like a pop song into like a post-hardcore emo song. Like, it's not that serious, man. So yeah.
I can't imagine getting bent out of shape about that too. Like, letting that ruin your day.
It's the same. And it's funny because like, I am so pretentious with my music taste. You know what I mean? Like, I love like Misery Signals, early metalcore stuff, and I do have my opinions about modern metalcore and modern whatever wave emo we're on. But at the same time, like, I understand that like music is subjective, and like, not everything's that serious. So I think that comes with age, and like, no one wants to be that guy at the venue with the ponytail being like, oh, back in my day, you know what I mean? Like, that was real emo. Like,
we lugged our amps up the stairs and
what is this? Now they're using computers on stage. Like, what is using a click? It's like, no one wants to be that guy, man.
No, dude. And it's funny too, because like, when I first started making content on TikTok, I was posting a lot of like nostalgic, like throwback emo stuff from like, anywhere between the early 2000s to mid 2000s, like that, because that was my prime era of, high school, whatever. And I just remember like kids in my comment section like trying to school me, tell me like what was real emo, or tell me like trying to correct me on things. I'm like, yo, first of all, little guy, all right, don't quote the Black Magic Witch, okay? I was there when it was created. I was in the trenches, man.
I was in the VFW with girl jeans on.
Yeah,
with the white belt and the carabiner.
Oh yeah. The ones the jeans you had to get from PacSun in the girls section, because they didn't make the boys skinny jeans then.
Yeah, it was a time, and it's crazy. Like, honestly, seeing young Gen Z, like even like teenagers, like really like discovering that old stuff again. Like I'm friends with Shane from Silverstein, and their first record is like weirdly blowing up again because like TikTok discovered Bleeds No More and stuff. And it's just really cool to see everything come back around, for sure.
Yeah. And you put out the full Will It Emo record, but like you said, this is not the end of Will It Emo, right? Will It Emo will continue.
Will It Emo will continue. Yeah. Season 2 will start when I'm back from this tour this winter. I have a lot of ideas, and I think we're gonna try and bring in some more people for this, some collabs. I think it'd be really fun. So yeah,
I like it.
A blast.
I like that you're thinking of it as a season too, like almost like a show. I like that. That's cool, man. That's a good way
For
to look
sure.
at it.
Yeah, the first one, volume 1's out, like it's on to the next, and yeah, I don't know, man. I'm
That's
just
very cool.
having fun.
I remember discovering you back in around the time you dropped Hammer, which I'm sure a lot of fans probably that's when they got hip to you. And I feel like, do you think there's a lot of fans who, when they see you on their timeline or their feed now, it's almost like a jump scare when they hear you screaming? They're like, "Whoa, what the hell? When this dude start yelling in the microphone?"
Yeah, yeah. If there's one thing about Nothing Nowhere is it's always been like completely all over the place. And I think like the massive shift where I was like, all right, all bets are off is when I released Void Eternal in 2023. And or 20, I don't know. When I released Void Eternal, you know, it was like my sort of like metalcore rap rock album.
Yeah, you got real heavy on that one.
Yeah, it had Will Ramos on it, so you
Mhm.
know it's heavy.
Yeah.
But no, I think that when people see me on their For You page, I think a lot of people don't even realize that I'm the emo rap guy from 2015 who made Hammer. But it is funny when people make that connection. It's like their mind explodes, and it's like, yeah, we've been through so many like phases and
Yeah.
seasons, if you will, of Nothing Nowhere. But that's kind of just like, it keeps me sane. I don't know. I have the worst ADHD, and I can't even like complete a task at my house, let alone write the same kind of song. So
Right.
yeah, it's
And that would just be a boring way to do it too. Just keep doing it over and over again.
yeah, and like honestly, I feel like maybe it's hurt me, you know what I mean? Because I changed my genre so much. It's never really given me a chance to settle into a certain crowd. But I just can't help myself, man. Like I just like, yeah.
Yeah, I guess I could definitely see it that way. But also I feel like people are so fluid and genreless with the way they listen to music now because of algorithms. Like there's people that, 10 years ago were never been caught dead listening to country, and now they're listening to shit like, obviously Hardy, Jelly Roll, that kind of country. But then like, even Bill Murray's throwing country stuff. You threw some country stuff in. There's people that are like, now it's like I feel like there's a lot of crossbreeding of genres on the algorithms.
Yeah, for sure. And there's not like local sounds anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, there's no like Seattle
that.
sound or Long Island sound.
Totally. The internet has just become everything. It's become an amalgamation of just every region in the US and in the world. Like,
Yeah.
you remember like, like that southern metalcore sound would sound so different from like a band from New England, and then so different from a band from Southern California. But it is really interesting how everything just sort of meshes together. So I don't think that like, and genres are really that important anymore, especially because the way that I listen to music is I just go through my liked songs on Spotify, and it's every genre under the sun. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I just feel like I'm trying to do what I can before the AI overlords like take over everything.
Our time's running out for sure, man. We're on borrowed time for all of us are. Yeah, we're especially me in the radio business, man. They're trying to take me out as fast as possible.
Yeah, we're the first to go.
Yeah, dude, that's a good point. That's something I've never really thought of, like that there really isn't that sound of like the region anymore. That was kind of, because I mean that was really cool back in the day, like when bands like Thursday and Take It Back Sunday and stuff were blowing up. It's like, oh, that Long Island emo, you gotta go there to find those. And like, of course, what happens is major labels go there and pillage those towns, and kind of ruin the scene eventually at some point. Same thing happened to Seattle, obviously. So I mean, I guess maybe that's better that doesn't exist anymore, but that was pretty cool, dude, back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, whether it was that or nowadays, like, labels sort of trying to manufacture streams and manufacture hype on the algorithm, like the powers that be will always find a way to sort of, get their project above the underground world. So there's always going to be some nefarious little ghoulish goblins doing their dealings in the music industry. But but yeah, I think people still like I'm optimistic because I feel like kids like they can see through it. You know what I mean? Like the real stuff versus like something that's, you know, maybe just money motivated, you know?
Yeah.
And it's fine to be like money motivated, you know what I mean?
Right.
If you're a musician, like you deserve to be paid for your work. You know, or like make a living, like that's cool. But it's just there's a difference where that spills over and it's like the money is the sole driver for the project. That's when things
Right.
get watered down. That's when things get, you know, they lose their lust, I feel like.
And the problem too with all the AI generated stuff is obviously that takes money away from those artists. Like it's so sad to see like so many art, like I don't even want to call them artists, you know, but these AI generated models or whatever are like out streaming some of the bands in the scene that they're modeled after, which is just mind blowing, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I tend to take a back seat on like a lot of music takes and stuff usually, but like the AI thing is one thing that I'm just actually passionate about. I'm like, this sucks. You know, I scrolling TikTok and just seeing a band it just all sounds the same is my problem. And the thing is, you go to the comment sections and people are like, I don't care that this is AI. Like, it doesn't matter to me. It's if it sounds cool, it's cool. And it's like, all right, that's cool. But like, also like we had that issue with Dayseeker and Holding Absence. Like they're training their algorithms on specific voices. And it's just like, it's intellectual property. And then you also, on the other side of the coin, you have like, I don't know, man. I could talk about this forever, but it's it's an interesting space where we're at right now. And I know that people in the industry are for sure using AI to write.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And which is even crazier now because it's like, well, then what is human expression? What's the point of learning how to play guitar for 20 years? You know what I mean? What's the point of having an emotion and finding the right chord, sitting in your room for 4 hours till you finally figure that out when you can just, you know, press a button and Suno will generate multiple versions of it in 2 seconds. It's like, does that have the same value? I don't know.
I don't think so.
It's scary. Yeah, it's weird. And maybe I'll look back someday and be like, oh, that was a boomer take of me back in 5. But like as I feel right now, like I hate it. I spent my whole life, 20 years, like learning how to play guitar, drums, bass, keys, sing, scream. And to just have some kid press a button and outstream everything else that everyone's doing, it's just like I don't know how to feel about it, man.
Yeah, dude, like I try not to be old man yells at clouds with this stuff. And I do feel like obviously AI is not going anywhere. We're not gonna fight it. But it doesn't mean that I feel like we should like lay down and accept it either. We should definitely talk back against it and figure out a way to incorporate it in a respectful and like just I don't know, a functional matter. Like even if it's just like, okay, this artist is trained off, let's say like that Bleeding Verse band, for instance, they're trained off Holy Absence and Dayseeker. They admitted to doing that. When they upload their songs on Spotify, I should say Bleeding Verse, comma, Holy Absence, comma, Dayseeker. Like the collaborators on the song or something. They should get some kind of kickback, you know, for the
for sure. Yeah, it's weird, but I feel like the one thing that I know is going to be around for a while is live music. So that's good for touring bands that are really hitting the road. Because AI, we're pretty far from like actual robots on stage. I mean,
I hope so, man.
Sure it'll happen at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just crazy. It's gotten to a point where wherever I see one of those bands like on my For You page and they don't even admit that they're doing AI music, I always just comment AI Slop on every single one. I cannot help myself.
Yeah. And you're out there trolling AI bands. I love it.
Yeah, I troll the fuck out of them. I love it. But it's just like it's weird, and it's even weirder when people do it and they're like, "We are recording our demos." It's like, bro, this is not a real band.
Dude, it's just such a bummer, man. And like you said, I really do hope these kids these days will still crave that authenticity and like want to go out to live shows and see real stuff and because like, man, you know what it's like going to a show when you're a kid. Like there's nothing like that first taste of freedom of not being around parents and like teachers and shit and just being among your peers. And like there are other places to do it at, but man, obviously the feeling of doing that with all your friends and then the experience of the music itself on top of it, like that's just a whole nother level that just really opens your world to like, oh shit. And then like, of course, that kind of stuff inspires other kids to be like, I want to pick up a guitar. I want to play. Like, I want to do that. Like,
yeah, like it's irreplaceable. I remember one of the first shows I ever went to was I went to see Boys Night Out.
oh, nice.
And I was probably like maybe I was 13, and I sprained my arm in the mosh pit, and I ended up sitting on top of my friend's shoulders, and then we tried to get a 3-person stack, and we ended up not even making it to the end of the show because we got kicked out.
Yeah.
We were so excited, like just 13-year-old kids who didn't know concert etiquette, who didn't know anything. We were just like, I can't believe that these dudes, like what these dudes are doing, it's magic to me. And I just learned how to play guitar, and I was sitting there watching Boys Night Out on stage, and I was like, this is like literal magic. It's dark magic, if you will.
Right.
And it's yeah, ever since then it's just been like, yo, I need to learn how to do that. And that's really special. And like I feel like with the AI thing, it's like more than ever we need those moments, and we need artists to just like, you know, bring the more human elements back. Like we were saying, like, you know, if you want to polish it up, there's an AI version that's going to polish it way more than you can polish it. So
yeah, they don't waste your time writing and recording the song at that point. Just let AI do it all if you're just going to go that far with it.
Yeah, for sure. So I think more than ever, it's like bring the grit back into, especially emo and like just the punk adjacent stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, go support like especially your local bands and your local scene for sure.
Oh yeah. Well, shifting gears from the downfall of humanity and creation as we know it, probably. Did you have a chance to work with Travis Barker, who is like he's like the Tom Brady of the pop punk world, or I don't know, maybe some of the football references more fitting there, but he's a goat, dude. Like, what was it like meeting Travis Barker for the first time?
Yeah, meeting Travis was, I guess, like oddly casual. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I could see that from him. It just feels like he'd be real chill.
Yeah, one of the most down to earth people, while simultaneously one of the most famous people, which is like, you know, I've met plenty of people in my 10 years as nothing nowhere, but I think Travis is maybe the most down to earth of all of them. So down to earth that we recorded most of the stuff just at his house, and we recorded a lot of stuff while he was on tour in green rooms where I would just show up, and then we filmed the music video for our song Destruction outside of the green room in Maine at a Blink-182 show. Like it's just
nice.
so, it felt like growing up and recording music at your friend's house. Like,
yeah,
you know, Travis would just be in his studio. I'd be like, oh, yo, do you want to order food? I'd be like, yeah. And he's like, sick. Like, you know, like it's just like, so like, what do you think of this idea? I'm like, that's cool. I'm like, what do you think of this? He's like, that's cool. You know?
Yeah.
Whereas like sometimes you go to sessions with songwriters out in LA and it's really rigid and they have a goal to really blow the song up. Like Travis is so core, and he's like a punk and hardcore dude at heart, where he's just, that spirit of DIY is just so ingrained in him. You know, it doesn't matter that Blink can play a stadium with like 80,000 people in it. It's just, I was really taken aback, and it really like, it made me really happy to know that, you know, someone could be operating at the absolute peak of whatever scene this is and just be a complete normal and caring and compassionate person. It was really dope.
Yeah, that's really cool that he like takes those like ethos into the mainstream world of like, you know, being on mainstream television, all that stuff, and still being able to like, no, but I'm still Travis Barker. I'm still punk as fuck. You know?
Yeah, he really is, dude. Like what you see is what you get. Like,
yeah.
I think if anyone were to listen to any interviews with him, like he's the same dude on camera as he is off. Like he's the man. And that was one of the pinch me moments in my career. For sure.
That must have been pretty cool too. Like, it's because it sounds like he's just constantly creating all the time. So it's just like whenever you're around him, you kind of get absorbed into the creation bubble. It's like, oh, you want to make a song right now? It's like, oh, okay, sure, yeah, let's do it. Like,
yeah, dude, it was motivating, man. Like he would do like 5 sessions a day, and like he would be, you know, 9 a.m. to like midnight doing sessions. And it's like, just because he's reached the height, there is, in Travis's eyes, there is no like sky's the limit. Like like, for someone like me, I'm like, dude, like you won music.
like you're done, dude.
won. Like you get the trophy, but like he's still in the studio grinding it out every day. And that was really motivating for me to be like, yo, like Travis is in the studio right now,
Yeah.
hours on end, still doing it. Like, what's your excuse, man? Like, get in there and write some riffs and like, tell a story.
Dude, it is crazy. It's like they say supposedly we all have the same 24 hours in the day, but man, it's some dudes and gals, it just seems like they are able to find that extra 2 to 3 hours somehow. I don't know how, man.
Yeah, dude, yeah. I spent like I am like such a tired, sleepy boy. And like, you know what I mean? Like I'll do like one thing a day and I'm like, I need to lay down. And like my girlfriend's like, we went to the grocery store. What are you talking about? And I'm like, I gotta lay down, dude.
I shot a Will It Emo this week. I'm good for I need to chill.
Yeah. So no, shout out to Travis, man. It's really inspiring to see him still like killing it. And it just makes me want to just be better and do more with the 24 hours that I have.
Yeah, man. Maximize that time.
For sure.
Well, dude, you've worked with a lot of other emo royalty as well. Obviously, Buddy from Senses Fail, Silverstein, we were talking about earlier, did track with Sum 41. I mean, is there anyone left on the dream list of emo collabs at this point?
Man, yeah, I mean, there always is. I'm so fortunate to have worked with so many people, and I don't know. I have that imposter syndrome where I'm like, I don't know why they wanted to work with me. That's so cool. And that there still is, man. Like I would love to work with Bert from The Used at some point. I'm friendly with Vic from Pierce and Kellen from Sleeping with Sirens, but we've never actually gotten to like make something happen. There's still so many artists that like I love collaboration so much because I feel like another person brings their unique take to something. And I spend so much time here in Vermont in my barn by myself that I really crave that,
Yeah.
to a certain point. So I don't know. I this upcoming year, I'm definitely going to be maybe annoying some people on Instagram and the DMs, and we'll see.
That's a good point you bring up. Like, because you are a solo dude, you're creating a lot of stuff on your own. And I mean, that's one of the reasons I started this podcast, man, because I was creating content and I'm just like talking into a camera by myself every day. It got like mind numbing, just yelling into a vacuum sometimes. It's like, I need to talk to other people. I need to bring other people in this situation, So I think that's a big thing, the collaboration with artists that again could be missed out on with the creating everything on a computer without actually getting together in a room with people and jamming and making some music, man. That's what it's about, dude.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It took me a while to really embrace being more social because I always sort of like I would pride myself on being like a hermit and a recluse and just being like in the woods. But it's kind of like I don't know if you ever seen them or read the book Into the Wild.
Oh, dude, a long time ago, yeah.
Yeah, and there's some quote, and I'm gonna butcher it or whatever, but essentially he says something like happiness is only real when shared, and I'm really realizing that a lot more. I made an effort to make friends like in my state for the first time where like I live an hour from them because I don't live near anything, but
Yeah.
It's really enriched my life in a way that I wasn't expecting. So I do feel like, collaboration, friends, being around other people, it's really important. And I feel like, I don't know if I saw something while I was doom scrolling, but it's like important for like all cause mortality to have a social life and to be around other people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just funny because I was always the guy who was the nothing knower guy in the woods, and I'm really coming out of that now and be like, maybe I should,
Yeah.
be around people and
Yeah, I saw some statistic the other day that says something like men need 2 nights out a week with the boys for mental clarity or for mental health or something, which is like
87, brother.
Yeah, dude, it sounds great, man. I can't imagine getting 2 nights out. I mean, just like 2 nights to do anything for myself and much less go out with the boys. That seems like a lot, man. You got shit to do, but that sounds great.
Yeah, for sure. It probably doesn't count, but like I definitely I'll play like video games at night, like on Discord with people. But like, yeah, man, it's just funny. You get older, you realize these things, and I guess that's some stuff really only comes with age.
Yeah. Were there any collabs that you tried to do that didn't work out, or ones that you like we were close to getting together, and then it fell through at the last minute or anything like that?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a crazy one. And I probably can't even say who it is, but it was
Oh, it's
me.
that crazy.
Yeah, it was me and Pete Wentz and a female vocalist from the grunge scene back in the day, who's extremely famous. And that was one that never saw the light of day. But I don't know if, yeah, people could deduce that, but it was just very interesting. And there have been sort of things like that, but people get busy and plans change. But yeah, you never know who's watching, and you never know who's a fan. I'm constantly surprised at the
Yeah.
people who reach out to me who are fans that I'm already fans of. Like, I don't know. Basically, you could argue one of the voices of our generation, Teddy Swims, amazing vocalist. I remember I was out to eat or something, and my girlfriend was like, or my sister, everyone was like, "Do you know Teddy Swims follows you?" And I was like, "No." I reached out to him. He's like, "Yo, dude, big fan." Like, you just never know, man. It's just really cool. And it's validating, I guess, when someone who's like won music, like
Yeah.
or Teddy, that's like, hey, what you're doing is cool, and like, don't get in your head, like, what you're doing is cool, and that helps me, like, just that external validation. I think a lot of musicians crave that.
Oh yeah, dude, that's really cool, man. I know Teddy Swims is like pretty into like metalcore and like pop punk and stuff too. He's got some good taste.
Yeah, he's tapped in for sure.
That's a good point too. Like I feel like a lot of people who make any kind of art or create anything like don't really think about that as much, that you never know who's watching. And like, hey, maybe that video you posted only had 100 views on it, but maybe one of those people that are watching it happened to work at a label or happens to know somebody that knows somebody, whatever. You never know like which one of those 100, 1 million views, whatever it is going to be the view that changes your life, man. You just got to keep creating, keep getting out there.
Yeah, there's that thing where it's like, it's literally just about who can stick it out the longest, like who doesn't give up,
Yeah.
and that's really what it is. Like, when Nothing Nowhere started taking off in 2015, it was because of Reddit. It was before TikTok and stuff, and it was because of YouTube as well. But I was trying 10 years before that. Nothing Nowhere has existed for 10 years, but 10 years before that, I was trying bands, trying different projects, solo projects, and just never giving up. And there were so many chunks of my life where I was like, I'm done with music. And then I'd be like, wait, why am I quitting music? It's just music.
Right.
I'm doing it. And I just think, yeah, like, not getting discouraged and just keep hammering through. And like, if you have something to say and you believe in what you do, like, something will happen. You just need to not quit, and you need to get through those like long nights and just keep going.
Nice, dude. Yeah, I do 100% agree with that, man. I didn't know you started popping off on Reddit. Were you in there shit posting or something? Like, how'd you?
Dude, well, I posted my first song ever. It was called Don't Mind Me. And then I think I released another song called I've Been Doing Well, and it made it to like the front page of Reddit. I don't know if it was r/music or something, but yeah, it was one of those things where it was like a couple days went by and it was just like so many eyes were on it. And yeah, it was weird because you don't think of Reddit as like a music discovery,
Yeah.
or especially now, but I guess 10
Right.
years ago was a bit different. But yeah, I don't know. Shout out to the Reddit mods and the neckbeard.
Hell yeah,
You
dude.
put me on, dude.
I want to go back to this real quick before I forget. You obviously don't have to say the name, but with this collab with the very famous grunge icon of the 90s, was anything ever actually recorded for that track? Is there something that out there exists with okay, all right. We gotta do some digging, folks. We got
Yeah, there was. Yeah, it's very, yeah, it's insane, man. There's just weird stuff like that, and you never know. Like, someday, like, I've recorded songs in the past, and I've sort of just sent them out to a publisher or something, and someone will end up cutting that record or something, and I have credits on other songs that I was like, well, I was never going to use that song. You know what I mean? It's just very interesting how songs will find a life at some point.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, and especially now with like the algorithms. I hate to keep going back to that, but it is like an old song from 50 years ago can go viral right now and become famous. Like it's or get a second life or whatever. So yeah, there's no shelf life on music anymore, which is really great.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool, but it's not enough to stop me from feeling like my career is gonna end tomorrow. And
Well, yeah, you have to have that doomsday like mentality sometimes, right?
yeah, man, I wake up every morning. I'm like, I had a good run, dude. It's over. I even just played. I played Warped Tour, and there was like 6,000 people in the crowd, and we had like such a massive set. And then I was like, yeah, I don't know. And then my band's like, what are you talking about? Up.
You play a sold out show, like, well, that was a good one to go out on. It's like, what are you talking about? We have another one tomorrow.
Yeah. It's healthy to have that. So it's healthy to have a balance. Because if you're sitting there and you're like, I'm the best in the world, like
this is never going away.
I rock. Like, yeah, you're gonna crash and burn. So yeah, it's all balance.
Well, dude, I got 2 more questions here for you, and these are the worst questions of the interview. I know the bar has been pretty low already with these questions, but these 2 are the worst. All right, first of all, this is gonna sound random, but I need you to rate the band 9 Inch Nails on a scale from 1 to 10 for me.
Dang, 9 Inch Nails, Trent Reznor. Fuck, you got to give him a 9, right?
I think so.
I have so much respect for that band, and like that is a lot of people's like that is their god, like that project. For whatever reason, I never fully like really dug into the discography. I just have heard it, and I've been like, this is very well executed. This guy's got his mind is all over the place. Mm-hmm. So that's the only reason I wouldn't give it a 10, because I'm just not familiar with the discography in the way that I should be to give it a 10. But that has inspired me to go just look it up and just dig into it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a band I always say, like I don't really like 9 Inch Nails, and then I hear 9 Inch Nails song, I'm like, well, that's a banger. Well, that's a banger too.
Yeah, very cool.
So I had the Devil Wears Prada on the show last week, and that was Jeremy's answer from the band to this question. If you could only listen to one band or one artist for the rest of your life, who do you think it would be? One discography for the end of time.
Oh my God. That's so tough. I can only say where I'm at right now. Like where I'm at right now is what I would say. And where I'm at right now, I would say Alexis on Fire.
Wow. Damn. That's a good one. All right.
I would say Alexis on Fire. Just Canadian legends. I think it is the pinnacle of post-hardcore in my opinion. And then Dallas going on to do City in Color was also amazing, but they're such a massive influence. They always have been for me, even if it doesn't show in my music. I love that band.
Yeah, and I think this make-believe scenario that I've orchestrated here, you could also slide in some City and Color songs in there as well. I think that would count under the umbrella.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, dude, thanks so much for taking the time to chat with me. Do you have any more last-minute plugs? Anything else you want to get out there before we get out here?
No, man. Stream Cardinal and Crossfire. Fucking thanks for listening to music. I'll be on tour in Europe. Tour dates at nothingnowhere.net. And thanks for listening.
Hell yeah, go do all that. Go support the crap out of Mr. Nowhere here. And above all else, if you enjoyed this, please be sure to share this podcast episode with somebody that doesn't suck. All right? Take it easy now, and bye-bye.
Jesse Lee Show.